aka King Chi, and I am back with another tool for your toolkits on this Wisdom on Wednesdays. Fam, here is a hot topic that you all will enjoy. And you know the conversation always is good when we get to interacting and you share with me your insights. Today we're going to discuss the dangers of common sense. So easily we encourage those people around us to have common sense without truly embracing the meaning behind common sense. The word in itself says a lot. Both words, common and sense, say so much. So as you tune in, I'll wait for a few of you all to join in so that we can begin with a breathing meditation. Very short, peace Black Venusian, a very short breathing meditation, because I want you, wherever you are, catching this video, whatever time of day. For those of you who are live, what up, peace Vimenti, peace Aki Faye, what's up. Wherever you are and you're catching this video, although there are natural sounds and then sounds of the city, you're going to benefit from this opening meditation because it's going to teach you how easily you can be off of that dangerous path of common sense and moving towards intelligence. So once you get on here, make sure you thumbs up this video. Please like. And for those of you who are new, I haven't welcomed you in a long time. So welcome to all of my new subscribers. If you are new and you haven't subscribed yet, but you found that the information on my channel has been helpful to your life, please do subscribe and assist with the algorithm, people. All right, so if you are ready, I love the swans and the white hearts. Them purple hearts is rocking too. So when you're ready to begin this breathing meditation, go ahead and put some white and purple hearts in the chat. Okay? White and purple hearts in the chat. All right. So wherever you are, unless you're driving, you may close your eyes. If you are driving, you still can do this meditation, which should help you while you're on the road anyway. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a meditation using the rule of 4 breath, which is something that I teach in Comedic Yoga, but we're going to apply it here. This is a pranayama, a form of a pranayama, which is a breathing technique. And it helps you to deepen your senses, okay, for a more controlled response to life. We're going to do a four count in 4 parts. That 4 part is the inhalation, the pause, the exhalation, and the pause. We're going to do 4 counts which on my command. And we're going to do 3 rounds of it. Now, I know that some of you on here are very, very fresh to this, and some of you have been practicing some of the longer counts of breath. But I want you to understand that no matter how long or short, the controlled sensation of breathing in and breathing out, no matter what stage you're in, this practice is going to be helpful to you. Okay? So let's begin. Relax your body. Drop down into your hips. And you're going to breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Very good. One more time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Relax. So whatever you were doing, whatever thoughts you had going on, it's an easy way to center the mind and prepare yourself for a strategic action moving forward. All right? So what's the dangerous thing about common sense? What came to me in meditation today to share on our Wisdom Wednesdays is that there is such a thing between common sense versus emotional intelligence. A lot of people talk about this, but they don't really compare the two. And for the first time, while I was sitting in meditation, I saw the two concepts next to each other. And I wondered, why would they be put towards this dynamic where they're facing each other, one not equating the other? When I sat and thought about it, I said, you know what? I get it. Common sense in the body of the words are very common. They are basic in nature. They are tied to our survival mindset. They are even tied to scarcity. They are tied to conformity. They are tied to what is agreed to by the masses. They are even tied to failed attempts. They do not always equate to success, victory, or the desired outcome. When we move in an energy of common sense and we figure to pat ourselves on the back or even congratulate others for having common sense, in a sense, we're celebrating a level of mediocrity in relationship to our senses. As human beings, right, we all have senses. Some people are a little more sensitive than others to heat or cold. So we're talking about temperatures. Some people are a little more sensitive to the sensory of taste. You can go on and on, right? For each sense that we are born with naturally in a healthy body, a basic healthy body, right? Common sense, basic. The only time people get frustrated in their interactions with others is not when people are exhibiting emotional intelligence. It's when people are exhibiting common sense and one or more of the parties involved have a desire for the other person to have cultivated what is a psychic sense. Emotional intelligence is something or a byproduct of cultivating intuition, cultivating psychic energy. This is something that is not very commonly spoken on. What's expected with emotional intelligence is that a person has emotional control over themselves. Emotional intelligence, look at the word of intelligence. There's this higher understanding and comprehension. The brain, okay, other parts of the brain are now involved with understanding and comprehending the emotional body. The emotional body is not physical. It has an effect on the physical body, but the emotional body lives within the psychic realm. Press 1 in the chat if you understand this concept. Okay? Tahuti Faye, you just made a really great point. Tahuti Faye said, I see this in heterosexual relationships a lot. Insensitivity is being mistaken for being the logical one. Okay? Insensitivity, right? Lacking insensitivity is not just a mere lacking the access to the senses, right? Your 5 senses. It's lacking the ability to tap into the 6th sense, which is on the lines of a psychic ability. When we speak to your point, Tahuti Faye, when we talk about people having conflict in relationships around insensitivity, I'll use a very common one because it's easier to understand using generalities, right? Women who are naturally endowed, oddly enough, this brings me back to some of my studies, right? With Saraswati power. Just to tie it in for you. Women are supposed to be naturally inclined to a higher psychic, intuitive ability over men. And that would be their superpower, especially when it's cultivated. And men are expected by society to be more in tune with a logical, common sense mind. But where they end up in a clash with their partners is that they have been expected to cultivate their 6th sense, get beyond logic, and be able to connect multiple points present, whether they are absolutely visible or implied. So that's the words coupled with the tension in the air, coupled with body language, coupled with smells sometimes, okay? All of the above. That's a perfect example of where common sense goes wrong. Because when we make decisions based off of common sense alone, there is a higher chance that an individual will miss the subtleties present. Emotional intelligence, the journey towards intelligence, emotional intelligence, obviously has to start with you, right? It has to start with you, but it does not end with you. It starts with you because you first have to become aware of how your common sense is tied to or sometimes in conflict with your emotional intelligence. Okay? Let's see if I can give you an example to make that make sense. All right, here's common sense. If a stranger is yelling at me, or if someone I care about is yelling at me, and I figure, in my brain I'm hearing my my Jamaican accent, I figure say, my voice and my reasoning is more important. Common sense is that if I yell back at them, one, it will make them pipe down, right? Common sense says, or for example, your child decides to mouth off at you. And because you have the stature and the superiority of being a parent, that if you raise your voice, you'll shut them down and you'll solve the issue and then create space for whatever resolution might be available. That's common sense. You know, barbaric. Someone swings at you, swing back at them. But the cultivated warrior, one, the goal is to avoid fighting in the same energy that someone is coming at you with as much as possible. That's not a common sense. That would be tied to an emotional intelligence, which is tied to intuition, psychic ability, and your logic, right? Logic can handle the things right in your face, but logic cannot handle the things that are, being masked for you to deal with in life. And so you put yourself at a disadvantage if you only live in a space of logic. Now notice, I didn't say anything about combining the mind with the heart. I didn't, because this is not even necessarily tied to just the heart space. Because the heart space in itself can draw us into situations that can be harmful to ourselves if not cultivated with emotional intelligence. We get a lot of the emotions have an entire body. The sensation in your feet are tied to an emotion. The fatigue or the energy that you feel in your legs is tied to an emotion. The flexibility or the rigidity of your joints is tied to an emotion. Okay? So it's not just centered on the heart. It's not just centered in the mind. Emotional intelligence and cultivating that brings us to a level of high analytical ability in a time-sensitive fashion. So you end up having this supernatural ability to bend time, to allow yourself to address a situation with more perfection. Because emotional intelligence in the psychic realm will be able to read the room before, present, and after, so that you can act in the now to have a positive effect. Positive meaning more towards what you desire in that moment, in the very near future, which is going to be happening in the now. You feel me? Press 1 in the chat if you follow what I'm saying. So for those of you who get irritated when you see someone that you care about, or yourself, or your children, or your parents, executing on what you think is, gosh, you don't have common sense, reel it back a little bit to tune into whether or not you're trying to apply common sense to a situation that would better be handled by emotional intelligence, right? It's like, what if a dude, right, is really stressed out. He's working, he's grinding, he's trying to get to that dollar to take care of his family. So he's irritated. And he sees his wife when he gets in the house. And she's already done her part. Let's say she's tidied up the house. The food is prepared. Now she just wants some attention. He's irritated. She's calm. She's already created this space for him. When he comes in, he's quiet. He's not reciprocating the affection that she's giving towards him. And he feels cold, right? Common sense might tell this woman. So common sense is going to be her friends who are not present to feel the tension, to see the colors, to smell the smells, right? Common sense is when the friends will tell the sister, oh, when your man comes home stressed out, obviously you have to de-stress him by offering some type of sexual activity, or running to him to take his shoes off, or going to rub his back. Okay? Common sense. Common sense is, okay, how do I just diffuse this situation now? But that how do I diffuse this situation now comes from a fix it, comes from scarcity, comes from fear, comes from anxiety, right? I'm going to meet this tension with another level of tension and try to get the person's attention to be on what I want them to be on. Emotional intelligence, speaking to the wisdom and the mastery of the sister, might lead her to bring down her tone and leave space for the brother to actually share what's going on or what they desire. Perhaps, your respectful greeting, notifying them that there are things prepared. When they're ready to eat, let me know. Is there anything that you need right now? In that scenario, the individual doesn't have to say too much, and there's nothing there for them to combat with. Now, that person is in a space where their safety is established, is felt. It's not said in the words, but emotionally, they know they're in a safe space. There is nothing pushing them towards any particular outcome. Now the sister, she just made a bad meal. Not bad in a bad way, bad in a good way, right? Of course, she's gonna want her mate, her husband, to be able to enjoy his food. We as human beings, because we have something called a parasympathetic and a sympathetic nervous system, we can't even eat and enjoy our food and digest it if we are under a lot of stress. And there's a lot of anxiety running through our bodies. We can't, even if we want to. So if she is emotionally intelligent, she tunes into the individualized being who's present, so that the win, they get to share in the goodness of the intention of the meal, together or not, right? Whatever her desire is, whatever her intention was. And he gets to enjoy in the meal and enjoy in the entering of his sanctuary of home. There opens a way for further communication. Okay? Or communication not about stress at work, but about, wow, this meal smells amazing. I can't wait to have a plate. Right? Common sense can have you running into a burning house because you think that you're fast enough. Oh, well, the fire just started. I'm super fast. I can run in and I can get out. But you can't account for the things that you don't see. Okay? You see people pull out their phones to record certain incidences based on common sense. When sometimes if they were to help out in a situation, they can save a person's life. Not saying that it's always the same, because emotional intelligence is another higher level of mastery. All right? So let's continue to strive towards being intelligent beings with supernatural powers who can play in a nanosecond the past, the present, and the future. Be able to read the room and approach it intelligently, as opposed to as a commoner who hasn't been exposed to much. So, they just do what's basic survival tactics for themselves. All right? Any questions? Peace. Let me shout y'all out. Peace, Lighthouse Society. Peace, Jasmine. Peace, Lottie Shy. And if you just got on here, please like the video and please share the video. Appreciate you. So yeah. For the September 23rd event, we are still looking for volunteers. So if you are looking to volunteer, to either be a volunteer at the event, in any form or fashion, please hit me up and let me know what it is. Also, if you're interested in receiving some charged crystal malas, okay, all crystal malas, right? You can DM me, or you can text me at 202-810-1876. My number and the details are in the description of this video. I would suggest these especially for those of you who like to wear your malas and you want to receive a secondary benefit from wearing them at the same time. But that's it for today, y'all. I'm excited and I'm looking forward to seeing you all on September 23rd. And know that your donations are going towards helping the programming for workshops for those in need who are creatives, families, adults, and children. So help us out, be a part of the community, and I look forward to seeing you there. Peace, love, and bliss. Happy studies, y'all.